Right. Welcome. This is going to be a Saturday thing, if I can actually get the time. It will be 2 hours, specifically for YouTube. Because I figured, hey, if I could do something on Twitch, but it buggers up when it goes to YouTube, because, well, music, then I might as well do something for YouTube. So, and I've wanted to put, like, do RPGs or strategy games, yeah, probably just mainly RPGs. Strategy games take about an hour, easy for, well, for Fridays. But RPGs not so much. So, welcome to the first oh, wrong one. The first installment of RPG Saturdays. Now, unlike what I was doing with Made here, I will only do, like, voice my own characters. For when I'm not, I'll be basically moving my mouse over where I'm reading, pretty much at the same speed, so you can try to keep up. Yeah, or you know, read past me. Pretty much, so you'll know when where I am to when I will be hitting the next button. Take up the mantle of a rogue trader, the scion of an ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over their trade protectorate and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodline of von Valancius as it faces multiple threats from within its own ranks and without, as countless enemies seek to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity. It is up to you to hold the reins of the Shattered Protectorate and forge a new path for the von Valancius dynasty, currently finding itself in a vortex of wars, intrigues, calamities, and heresy. The stakes are higher and rise even higher as you cross paths with terrifying, powerful, and ambitious adversaries in the darkness of the Coronis expanse. That's yeah, I'm just pretty much just gonna be playing on normal. Don't really think. Now this is where I want. This is what I was looking for. It's not the difficulties that I'm after. Let's go here and see where. Test characteristic skills. Right, okay, that's not what I want. I want to get rid of the what I want to do is not know which path I'm going down. But that doesn't seem to be an option, unfortunately. I I don't want to know what route I'm going down because I don't want to go. Oh yes, I want to focus on this path. No, I just want to. I they as a because you're just a regular person. You don't know which way you're going down. You just go. I like this dialogue piece. That's what I want to do. So I'm not going to make it any choices on like path choices. Just on. It is just on text alone. And I will be taking. Yeah, I unfortunately cannot. I don't have the right size for custom portrait, but I am doing an officer. Ah. As his not hair befitting an officer of the Imperial Guard. Yes, this is. Don't worry, I'm definitely not chaos. Cool if I could get that on the shoulder though. But oh well. It's like some psychic crap. You know, as an officer, you're bound to have been in some sort of conflict, physically. I think they're all in the head though. Oh well.
A new challenge for me. I'll see you terminated!
To arms! Time to reap the spoils of the battle.
Unleash the storm of macro cannons.
The destination is known.
Lance batteries, volley!
We have purified the battlefield of the enemy's taint.
Excellence matters.
Yeah, we'll go with the pragmatic male. Kinda sucks that they don't have too much in the way of hair. But, oh well.
The best defense is a good offense.
Yeah, I pretty much already have a character in mind. So range attacks for each shot. Never stop shooting. Yeah, pretty sure it was a it was an Imperial world. Select any characteristic. 10. Because we are humanity's finest. We are the bulwark against the Imperium's enemies. What is affected by an damaging ability? Affected. Solve it for 1 round. Characteristics. Doing my part. Ignore the character. The current party has the same archetype as this character. The first archetype ability used in each combat by this archetype. Ah, yes. That's AP. No heresy. Characters gain 10% critical chance and armor against Xenos or demonic creatures. Half the bonuses of no heresy. Yeah. All I have to know is where to shoot them. Excluding Xenos in the current party game. This was chosen of humanity's finest. Yes. What is strength? Outfit damage with melee, with heavy objects, with one hand melee, fix it. Toughness. I think I'll go fellowship because as an officer, you need that fellowship. To approach gathering of unsociable servants or to deals with treacherous merchants. Warp. Counted, Correns expanse. Now this character's expert control over a crowd or interrogate a heretic. Ceases. also affects awareness and reduces the enemy dodge against attacks. With non-burst ranged area attacks. Yeah, I'll probably go willpower. And I already knew what I was going with. Commander. The single target. The commander is under regimental tactics effect. The single target melee range attacks and gain 20 dodge against enemies adjacent to the commander or their allies. Regimental tactics, not their allies. Ah, right. And the commander's next turn can only be used once per combat. Field of fire. Made since the start of this effect. Uses a heroic act, the commander gains +5 to all characters until the end of combat. Yeah, heroic act. Under regimental tactics, killing enemy adjacent to any ally grants that ally an additional 10 momentum. Ally. Commander deals additional. Right. Yes. An apex of brilliance. Sort of broken Imperial Guard Regiment to its former martial glory. You defend a shrine world and received a high commendation for your feat. Or we utilize your talents as commander to achieve a great victory over the Marauders. I think I shall go with an illustrious glory. The darkest hour. At the hands of humanity's enemies. Wait, that's just gone. What happened to Gaunt? I am fine. I shall take a broken nose for the Shadow of Torment. And I am an officer. Because shouting, bring it down, voice of command is great. I love it. Up to 45. We can pop that up to 35. And ballistic up to 40. Hey, you know what? We'll power up to 50, let's go. Now for the name. Actually, first I need to choose the class. Or frigate class, I should say. It's the classic force proven in thousands of battles, combined in high speed and respectable survivability. That was developed only 5 centuries ago, but to be as good as veteran frigates like the Sword class and the Firestorm. Modification of the Sword class designed to deliver 5 strikes against larger enemy ships, not shying away from engagements with a superior opponent. I have it. Emperor's Spite. Actually, no. Spiteful Spirit, yes. To hell with the Vengeful Spirit. We've got the Spiteful Spirit. Brilliant. And this is the adventure of Archibald Drisus VIII, von Valentius. Naturally, I've been thinking of that name for a while now. I mean, after all, I needed a good name. And as an officer of the Imperial Guard, I need a highborn name, after all. And what's more highborn than having a last name and numbers? And a number. Especially the number, that is very important.
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity.
Yeah, choice and dialogue is basically standard stuff from games. Just pick one and go left click. frankly, such an excess can be tiring at times.
I believe there are those among us who share that sentiment. But such is our duty, is it not? To overcome base weaknesses and desires, so as to excel in our service to the God Emperor, the master of humanity. Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencius. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
So, hopefully the best just of what I was kind of doing before. Just as a basic overview of what a rogue trader is. A rogue trader is a subject of the Imperium with a unique hereditary title. A rogue trader is tasked with exploring and exploiting the still uncharted regions of the galaxy for the benefit of mankind. Lieutenant General Archibald Drisus VIII, Scorpio Grimold, Commander of the Army of the 8th of the Scanthian Janissaries.
My regards, Lieutenant General. The Astra Militarum is the hammer of the God Emperor, isn't that what they say? Well, it is likely that fate will give you ample opportunity to demonstrate your talents as a commander. I will be frank with you. You may forget your past titles, no matter who gave them to you, or what their origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valencius, and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with Her Ladyship. Bear it with honor.
You have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities?
To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others.
Lord Captain? A strange title for the Lady Theodora.
Such are the traditions of the Imperium. Lord Captain is the title that was established in the annals of the Lex Imperialis, at the time when the first rogue traders entered the God Emperor's service, and therefore, it is sacrosanct.
Well, I mean, the Imperium should be, self-explanatory. And, I'm not too sure what the Lex Imperialis is. However, that is what these are for. And it's just a codex of Imperium laws. Tell me about the one whose ship I have found myself.
I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back. Especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that Her Ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities.
So I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out? let us address it.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Ethelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Yep. Some objects. Is really
Is there money to be made?
One of the von Valencius trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
That's a torrential battery. That's a torrential turret. That's a battle. I say.
What's happening?
Run! The servitors have gone berserk!
Challenges make the spoils that much sweeter.
To survive in the grim darkness of the far future, you will have to face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. These hints and tutorials will familiarize you with the combat system of Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. Click the button at the top of the screen to start the battle. And I'm starting to speak like what's his name from the Gravelax incident. Yes. Because as we all know, everything comes from everything terrible that happens in the galaxy. It's all because of the Rogue Trader. On their turn, a character can move and attack and use their abilities. Select the cell within the highlighted area and double click the left mouse button to move the character there. Movement points determine how far a character can move on their turn. 1 MP corresponds to 1 cell on the battlefield. Moving diagonally is more costly. Every second diagonal cell uses 2 MP. At the beginning of each turn, movement points are restored to their maximum value. Note that once the character starts moving, this action can no longer be cancelled. Let's see, what do I have? I have that. Where do you move? You're moving next, so I could just... Move there. Voice of command. Brilliant! Action points. To make attacks and use abilities in combat, a character must spend action points or AP. The total is displayed on the panel at the bottom of the screen. Every attack or ability has a certain AP cost associated with it. The number of squares next to the icons of attacks, attack icons and other abilities indicate their AP cost. At the start of each character's turn, their AP are restored to the maximum value. Yeah, it's basically your standard stuff that you more or less understand. Nothing changes really. Everything has a range, you shoot, yada yada yada. Certain abilities in the game are considered attack actions and can only be used once per turn, unless affected by specific talents or other abilities a character might have. If a character performs an attack action, they will not be able to attack again and will lose the remaining movement points until the start of their next turn.
I'll make it happen.
But target of voice becomes a target of cannot be targeted by this. And then we take a pot shot before ending our turn with space. Yeah. Oh, that's not good. I can't run. What do you have? You are injured. Each turn the operative influence one stack.
My gut tells me it's a bad idea.
Oh no.
I'll see to it personally.
Oh, that's no good. Crew officer! Bring it! No! Conrad, stop that! Fire! Shoot the blasted thing! Do you even have a weapon? Yeah, you... Okay, so I just can't order you, okay.
It's as good as done.
Bloody brilliant. Conrad, stop that!
Die!
Let's make some opportunities.
Are you joking?
Death to the heretics!
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan.
Are you sure about Void Sphere?
I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
You can map to orient yourself. What's the map? This is the map. Yeah, I started playing Warhammer 40,000, which is Warhammer tabletop wargaming, with the Imperial Guard at well, the beginning of 9th edition. Yes. So I think I'll have to go get my codex, which is in the garage. But that is a tarantula battery with, what's that, 2 las cannons. This here is a Lehman Russ battle cannon. You can tell because of the short distance between this bit here, this gas bit, and the compensator. Compare that to the and also the how short the barrel is compared to the what is it? It's got a bigger Vanquisher. That's it. Compared to the Vanquisher, which has a the barrel would probably reach out about here, I'd say. Let's see. It's got a bow, no cupola machine gun. It's got a bow heavy bolter and twin melters and sponsons.
Keep your wits about you. Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
We were over here before.
That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad? Our second candidate has joined us. Approach and give me your answer. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
Characters' skills reflect their knowledge and capabilities. Some dialogue automatically initiate passive skill tests. If such a test succeeds, your information will be revealed or a hidden dialogue option will unlock. If your character is traveling with allies, the party member with the highest score in the applicable skill is selected for each passive skill test. Yes, might cost several psychics, but psychics are valuable indeed. Yes, I may have some connections with the guard, but see, that comes in with resources that can't really afford to pull anywhere else. Now, this one here, we can't purge because the minerals are too valuable. But yes, it would be a good idea to, if they do Xeno worship, we can kill them. To the warp with them.
Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor.
Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence.
I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Edelthrad.
Insolent, ignorant upstart. How dare you?
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
So, why are you here?
Was it not you who sent for me? There are questions that I wish to have answered.
You are direct. I approve. But you will have to wait. There is something I want you to understand first. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
One of? Does this mean there are other heirs?
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
If you are satisfied with Edelthrad, then what is the sense in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time with me?
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse. Service in the Astra Militarum is a trial from which very few people emerge with their life. That you have risen through the ranks of the Imperial Guard and assumed command of an army is a testament to your astuteness, both on the battlefield and in the tangled net of officer intrigues. I assure you, the company that a rogue trader keeps will offer you plenty of chances to demonstrate both your diplomatic skills and your combat prowess. Moreover, even changing your family name will not rid you of the fame you previously garnered. I hope it will also help you bring glory to the von Valancius dynasty, to which you now belong.
Okay, that's a blue one. Does it? Ah! Your illustrious glory made you famous far beyond the bounds of your home system. Wait, did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly and, as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voigtvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
Thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now?
I have some time before the Navigator gives the signal to initiate the Void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
An incident took place on the office deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
What are my current responsibilities?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
I have no more questions.
In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
Yes, like right now. Warp did they get up on the ship any?
You will beg for mercy, but I will grant none.
Let the blood flow!
Oh, good! A cornet cultist! Come at me then! Show me what goes for courage to your unbegotten kind! And there's your initiative, which is what that was showing.
Look out!
Follow my lead.
My faith strengthens me.
My ears are ringing.
Death to non-believers! Death to the weak!
Miss me! Right, they're not gonna listen to me.
I don't need luck. I have strategy.
Ew. Critical hit. It is dead. And I am
bring ruin.
slightly exposed.
Chaos guides me.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Out of my way! Ah!
Such is the will of Kena!
Reduced to dust. One fewer target.
Stay vigilant.
Oh.
Right. And maybe I could just leave that to my lady, the Lord Captain.
Who, if not me?
Bugger. Like, bloody hell, that shot went wide.
I took care of this one.
Weapon at the ready. For the glory of the Imperium! I serve the ruinous powers!
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive.
Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
What are your orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Yes, Lord Captain.
I always have a backup plan.
What the hell is this thing? Okay, time to catch up to the Lord Militant. Zion! I'd love to get my hands on a melter.
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, hold yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
We must provide immediate assistance to those on the middle decks. Perhaps then we might stop this wave from spreading.
First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once. Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-Militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psychic powers.
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
I hear and obey, Lord Captain.
Then move out! Mort, come.
Look, as an officer of the Imperial Guard, and apparently as was said, I worked my way up, so I must behave accordingly.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
I shall make do. Lead the way.
Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant.
Here it comes. I have been stabbed. I have been knocked out. I got hit with a good shot of morphine. Inject that shit right into my guts.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
Would fear, you two-faced scum! You are the one behind this mayhem!
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel. An ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy, you sordid, wretched piece of grok shit?
Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness, Theodorus Kerr? Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind.
It is not blind loyalty to Theodora. It is loyalty to humanity.
Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench, Fon Valencius, watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
Head is spit, and then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sources for you echo in each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. I will do as you require. But I will find a way to make you pay for this, you filth.
I doubt it, my dear. But that's enough talk. Fulfill your destiny.
There is no point in fighting. In the gateway, first we shall do this. One of the valuable dialogue options requires making a skill test. Unlike with passive tests, which are made automatically, in this case you can decide whether or not to select an option, the consequences of which will depend on the result of the associated test. Success or failure depends on how the dialogue will develop, depending on the content. You might change the course of the conversation, alter the character's attitude, or perform an action whose consequences will only be apparent later. Hover your cursor over the dialogue option that requires a skill test, and you will see a tooltip detailing your chances of success. The number after the skill's name indicates a difficulty to the test. Once your character starts traveling with allies, the party member with the highest skill, yada yada. Let's see. Oh, 100%. Nice. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with the human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or a protruding piece of rebar in sight.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
You carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that was used as material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drown-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp, metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right view lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after Voidfield. Voidfield wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, the source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depth of your mind. Whisper blue. Fine. Yeah, just slight possession. Just slight possession. Let us examine. The servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you're used to. His skin covering is stitched together with copper thread, and it has metal hinges in place of the standard joints. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of ordinary automatons. The Sentinel's jaw clamps around your head, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the server's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The Sentinel's jaw remains closed, and you'll begin to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from. Crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel? The cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Who is this?
Genetic code identified. Child of House von Valancius. Do you require assistance?
You hear a displeased grunt in your mind, as if the lurking entity has sensed something that is not to its liking. Yes, Sentinel! Traitors threaten my life and the safety of the warrant! Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity is clouding your consciousness. Clouding it does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Open up with the tarantulas!
Well, there is still another way.
Coward! You know, I'm just going to turn the music down a bit. It does not need to be so high.
Let us not dawdle.
Yeah, it's just an old injury. An injury that wasn't healed in time. Yeah, but the... Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade and bestow upon them a paragraph unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold the bodily reins of fate, to walk steadily through... bugger. I can't read fast enough. Well, not with my mouth at least.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warrant Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel, designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
I need a weapon. I'm utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
Okay, lead me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
And here we get to the journal. Okay, the status of your current objective has been updated in that the new information has been added to your journal. You can open the journal by pressing J or clicking left mouse button on the notification at the top of the screen. Journal entries help you keep track of current events and guide your character on their journey. The Quests tab tracks the progress of the main story. Here you can find information about any quests you have accepted and their current status. Use the journal to help yourself understand where to go on the next steps of your adventure. The rumors and contract sections also contain important information you will learn about, and you will learn about more about them later.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Actually, if I'm... yeah, no, I'm sure people are able to read it.
I always keep my options open.
Please don't tell me it broke. No, I gotta close. I actually have to seal the warrant.
Master, whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you? Throne preserve me. What is the meaning of this?
Conrad Voigtveer is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of that plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
So it would seem. But he is not here, and we have a mutiny to end.
Indeed. Indeed. That is easier said than done, of course. But seeing one of Lady Theodora's heirs alive inspires at least some degree of optimism. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
While fighting, your character can lose some of their wounds. Your character suffered an injury after being attacked by Kunrad. This happens when a character receives damage that exceeds 50% of their maximum wounds within one round. The exact percentage of wounds a character must lose for this to happen may vary depending on the difficulty of the game you choose. Injuries reduce a character's resolve. When a character initially suffers an injury, it is considered a fresh injury during the first 3 rounds. Once 3 rounds have passed, a fresh injury becomes an old injury. A fresh injury can be healed using medkit without passing any skill tests. Old injuries can be healed with a medikit, but they require the character administering the treatment to pass a Medicaid skill test to succeed. Use medikits to restore wounds and heal injuries. Note that when a character loses all of their wounds, they fall unconscious. Once the combat is over, the wounds of all party members are replenished automatically, but any injuries they may have sustained remain. Those can be healed with a medkit. Medikits can only be used by characters who have the Field Medic feature, base skill Medicaid, or have taken Medicaid skill advancement at least once. Whenever a character uses a medikit in battle, a Medicaid skill test determines the number of wounds that will be restored as a result. Abelard can heal your character's injury. Click left mouse button on Abelard's portrait, select the medikit on the panel at the bottom of the screen, then use it on your character. Abelard needs to be standing next to your character for him to administer the treatment. You have gotten new items. All items can be added to your inventory. You can open it by pressing I or clicking on the bag icon on the right side of the screen. On the inventory screen, weapons, armor, and other items can be equipped or interacted with in other ways. Medikits can be used to replenish wounds and heal injuries.
I'm at your service.
We do this. You hit this bag. To equip new weapons or armor, open your inventory menu from I and double click left on the item. Alternatively, you can hold left mouse and drag the item to the right slot. It will become highlighted once you start dragging the item. To view the parameters of an item, hover your cursor over its icon and wait for the information window to appear. Another way to view details about an item is to click right mouse button on its icon, then select info. You can switch between party members using the arrows at the top of the inventory screen or clicking left mouse button on a character's portrait. Item descriptions contain comparisons with any corresponding items already equipped by the character. We jump over here. That. It's best to just use that. That. Okay, we'll close. There it is.
Let me help. I'll make sure. That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
How did you find me?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Voxcast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
I think the Warrant Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warrant Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort. The Warrant Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
I heard one of Theodora's Voxcasts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
What exactly has gone wrong with the translation?
I am no helmsman, or God Emperor preserve me navigator. However, I have spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Gellerfield has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the war. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
What can we expect to find in the Navigator's Sanctum?
During warp transit, the Sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Empyrean. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the Sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the Immaterium. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
For the Imperium and humanity, lead the way, Seneschal.
Come. The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
Ah, here we go.
Don't you dare to cross us!
You'll make a suitable sacrifice!
Combat begins in the tactical phase, during which characters cannot attack or take other actions, but may try to take up advantageous positions. Select a character by clicking left mouse button on the portrait at the top of the screen, then click left mouse button on the cell you want the character to move to. Red cells are areas inaccessible to the character. During the technical phase, each character in the party may move up to their maximum movement points, but cannot position themselves adjacent to an enemy. Press space to start the battle. Okay, let's see, we got Abelard selected. Who's moving first? You, then you. And then Abelard. Abelard, you're moving up there. Don't worry. I will, I should be right behind you.
Death to non-believers! Death to the weak!
Yes. To make a melee attack, click the mouse button on the strike ability, then on the enemy you wish to attack. Unlike single shots, melee attacks hit automatically with no need for a roll. The enemy will try to dodge and parry the attack if they are using a melee weapon of their own. Melee weapons can be used to make area attacks. All creatures in the area will suffer damage unless they succeed on a dodge test or a parry test if they are armed with a melee weapon. Damage dealt by melee weapons depends on the weapon's parameters and the attacker's strength score. Be careful, companions can get hurt by your burst shots or area attacks. To avoid friendly fire, keep an eye on the trajectory of the shots and the area of effect of area attack abilities. Got it. Where's my cleave? Here's my cleave.
It will be done. Like the aftermath of an orbital strike.
Fuck, I hit that far away. You have a gun. Sucks I can't actually get into there.
Indeed. Reduced to dust.
Maybe I should charge that a cutthroat. What is deflection? Damage is duck whenever an enemy hits a character. Yeah, but that'll be fine.
I am your doom.
That is what I was doing before, so we need not focus on this. If you wish to actually, I'll slowly move in. You can pause and read if you so wish to. If I just move up here, oh, hang on, if I move here, because that's still
Don't let your guard down.
We move here. We use this. You get that. Oh, they're far right here.
Crush the feeble.
Chaos guides me.
There is your case of friendly fire. It is always great when the enemy do that to themselves. Oh shit. Not mean to move there. However, that was just moving. No, we go there.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. One fewer tongue.
Archibald, bring me his balls.
Victory is imminent. I took care of this one.
And then you've got your standard XP. And this is... You can advance the level of your characters and companions, prevailing in battles, exploring the Coronis expanse, and completing quests. Earn your experience points. Once you have accumulated enough experience, your character gains a new level. Click on the arrow symbol on your character's portrait to open up the level up screen. Each level gained offers your characters new progression options, which includes new abilities, talents, skill improvements, and other enhancements. Your companions gain new levels at the same time as your character, even if they are not included in the active party during your journeys. You can always increase their level later.
I have a nose for profit and the taste for adventure.
Yeah, where's my... There you go. Archetypes. You do this. I need... peacefully convincing others to agree with their point. Intimate. Threats and pressure during dialogue. Yeah, persuasion. There's a fun one. And then we get athletics. And now we can loot the bodies. Defeated enemies have no further need for their former belongings, but you can discover valuable trophies among them. Click left mouse button on the defeated enemy to inspect what is left of them. Items on the right side of the trophy window go to your inventory. Such items can be used by your characters. Items on the left are packed up as cargo and sent to your ship, which can be later used to trade with various factions. You can move trophies from one side of the window to the other by double clicking left mouse button on them, or by dragging them over using left mouse button. Alternatively, you can use the buttons at the bottom to mass transfer all items from cargo to your inventory and vice versa. Go. What's better? I think I shall stick with the revolver for now. In combat, a character may need to use different kinds of weapons, which can be prepared for in advance. Opening inventory, I, and prepare different weapon sets. To switch to a different weapon set in combat, press X. Swapping weapon sets in combat does not cost action points. Here is a map of your void ship. It consists of several parts between which you can travel. Some parts are not yet available, but over time your character will be able to access them. To the Navigator's Sanctum. So, where I will be leaving this one here is when I've finished basically this main, when I've finished everything on the void ship. When I become the rogue trader.
Rise to the top, or get left.
The Navigator's Sanctum is directly along the passageway. I pray to the God Emperor that we are not too late.
And so, he will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate.
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing!
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valencius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
The entity in your consciousness shrieks and crawls in deeper. Its claws scraping against the walls of your mind, as if the presence is trying to hide from the sea standing before you. A diviner, are ya?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you are von Valencius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet.
Officer's frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
How do you know who I am?
What? You think Lady Theodora didn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? I have seen you. I have seen the footsteps of your past and the wounds of your heart.
You flinch at the seer's words. No doubt she's referring to the nightmares that tortures inflicted upon your body and mind. Your muscles contract involuntarily, as if steeling themselves once more for the inevitable pain. What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the Navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the enginarium. But it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Engineer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
We must see if the Navigator is well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a Navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
Funny coming from a psycho. To select one character, click on their portrait. To select multiple characters, hold left and drag a box around them. Select the entire party and issue commands to all your characters at once. Press backspace.
I know how to take risks.
Now there should be formation. Okay, that is a good formation.
Your demise is already calculated.
All of you will bleed!
Where's that psycho there? Enium, Danium, then Adira. Yeah, I can go after those two. Archibald, you're moving up there. Adira, you can go over there. I, on the other hand, shall be moving over here. Archibald. Yes. Okay, we are ready.
Let's get to it.
Ow.
I serve the ruinous cause.
Just a minor setback.
I bring ruin.
Adira is a psycho and an operative. As an operative, she can study opponents and identify their weaknesses, and her psychic abilities allow her to deal damage to exploit them. Analyze enemies is an operative ability which applies the exploit effect to all enemies within the operative's line of sight at the start of each of the operative's turns. The operative can also use this ability against a specific enemy to inflict several stacks of this effect. The higher the operative's intelligence bonus, the more exploit stacks will be inflicted. Whenever the operative hits a target with an exploit applied to them, the attack deals additional damage. The amount of extra damage depends on the target's number of exploit stacks and the operative's perception. Exposed weakness is an operative ability which they can use against a single enemy who is under the exploit effect. This ability reaches the enemy's dodge, parry, and armor. The amount of reduction depends on the number of active exploits on the enemy and the operative's perception. Idira is armed with the special staff that allows the Psyker to unleash psychic powers against the enemies. In the future, you will encounter staves that only a Psyker versed in a certain discipline can use. For example, you might find a staff that lets a Psyker use Inferno, but to do so, they must first have the Pyromancy psychic discipline learned. Let's see, I have 4. Oh, that possibly kills all of them.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Right, so that is considered an attack.
Viewer target.
Oh, okay. I probably should have moved out over here. Ah, well. You can use the hologram to gauge the effectiveness of your intended actions in combat by clicking. I'm mainly just leaving this for people that haven't really seen. Left click onto any accessible cell in the battlefield to place the character's hologram there. Select an ability or single shot attack to see the expected outcome. The action will be displayed as if used from the hologram's location to let you assess whether you have picked an effective position for the action you are planning to take. The hologram also lets you see if the enemy will be within your line of sight after you move to the selected cell. Click left mouse LMB again to confirm your choice and execute the selected action. Click RMB anywhere on the battlefield or press escape to cancel it. Shit. Go over there. We were just burst fire. Bugger it. Recent enemy death. Oh no, what is misfortune? Oh no.
But of course.
The creature in the chair appears as if it has become one with its throne. You see pink, parchment-like skin, stretched between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a human being. The navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the two dark gill-like slits on its cheek. The creature's eyes are shut. The two ordinary eyes, as well as the third one that sits in the center of its forehead.
I believe Master Vespider still lives. Well, the servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
What's wrong with him?
Wounded. Exhausted. Fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one.
All of the above?
Your time is short.
No, we're still in the warp. If we get... Are you alright?
Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
I'm gonna take that as a no.
Ah! It came from beyond! His body is not his!
Idira's scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unforeseen creature triumphs at the sight of the navigator, succumbing to the parasitisms of corruption.
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me.
This is the first look at, we're dealing with Zinj here. Man.
Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
The navigator is still alive, but barely so. What do we do now?
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier.
Vespidas, good luck. And thank you.
The navigator does not give her a response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under the closed eyelids, and the box at the base of the chair is bellowing out static interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. I just need that on. It should be basically the same. Yep. Oh, you already have a las pistol. Ah, right. The stuff is two-handed. Of course it is.
I always have a backup plan.
Right, so what we do is we
Keep your wits about you.
It's still maybe another hour. Yeah, bugger it, let's go.
Is there money to be made?
Yeah, usually I would end it. I am planning to end it at this point, roughly 2 hours. But considering that this is, well, the start, I figured that would be a good idea to just get through this beginning section, get into system, leave it there.
Ship's as good as ours! It's all over for you!
You were saying?
I shall pity not your enemies. I shall heed not their pleas.
Somebody shoot these...
I shall betray not your tenets, nor stray one step from them. Take not your gaze from me. Leave me not without your grace.
I told you he would protect us.
My God, my light, my Emperor.
Now, considering that I started at the beginning of 9th, I can tell you that armor is the old Imperial Guard like pre-9th edition Guard stuff. I don't know when the models came around, but they are still fairly old scopes. I do putting them together so much better than new ones. Like, you can actually just take the bits of the model and just chuck them into a bits box. Sadly, with the newer models, you kind of have to put the arm, the legs and torso together first before doing any of that. Otherwise, you gotta muck around with shaving and green stuff, which I'm not going to attempt. The white-haired warrior turns to face you, her dark eyes blazing. The weapon quivers in her hands, and for a brief moment, it seems she is not going to stop, and will instead continue eliminating every target she sees, starting with you.
Sister Argenta! Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you. We require all the forces we can muster.
Your face, it is unfamiliar. Who are you?
Archibald Drisus VIII von Valentius, the Lord Captain's heir.
The hour is dark and daunting. Ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades ignite with the archenemy's hunger. I will do what I must to halt the advance of the dark forces. But in these dire moments, little can be trusted. So I must know, why are you here?
So for all those who don't know who the archenemy is, it is also known as Chaos, which is a malign metaphysical force composed of psychic energies that exists in an ultimate dimension known as the Warp. Now, a good way to know about I basically have a little bit more knowledge than your average guardsman, which means not a whole lot. However, I have heard basically the Warp being basically referred to as the sea. It is that. except a lot more dangerous things that basically think of the sea just more filled with great whites from Jaws. More things that will just come after you and kill you just because you're there.
Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed Master of Whispers. Edelthrath the Heir is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. We are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that.
I am no traitor, sister. You can be sure of that.
If you speak truthfully, the Emperor will not forsake you. If you are lying, you will not escape his retribution. I cannot wait to rain righteous fire down upon each and every heretic!
What is the worry of the Adeptus Sororitas storing aboard a rogue trader ship? Your orders serve the Ecclesiarchy, do they not?
Sister Argenta is a guest of the Lord Captain. And that story deserves its own time and conversation. Under more appropriate circumstances.
It really does.
Enough idle chatter. I am where I must be, and that will suffice.
Who are these people with you?
Overseer of Middle Deck Ale 84, my lord. We were rounding up everyone we could find in the attack compartments when we ran into an ambush. Just about every enforcer fell. These are the survivors.
Okay, what is happening on the officer's deck?
Massacre, my lord. And heretics are not just killing the crew. Some kind of blight is sweeping through the decks, filling the air. I saw people going mad the moment they breathed it in, screaming about seeing their dead comrades, tearing out their eyes. I implore you, my lord, be on your guard.
We must get to the main hall of the deck.
Through this door. I shall join you, for it is my duty to the God Emperor to destroy this heresy.
We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a Tectomat with us. But we'll see what we can do without one.
Good to hear it. Sister?
Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness.
The honor of the God Emperor of mankind. Oh, a well-maintained stub revolver. I do like it. You have received a new, more efficient weapon for your character. To upgrade your equipment, open the inventory. You can either hold LMB and drag the new item to a weapon slot, or double-click LMD on the item's icon. You'll find and purchase new equipment on your travels, so do not forget to update your character's equipment in order to make them more powerful. Now, I agree. Much better. Now I need to redo formations. I feel like they make it quite simple. Please. actually, now, I do like that you can change the difficulty as you go. Right, of course there would be difficulties. Graphics, display.
The Emperor is with us!
The Masters demand your death!
Okay, what do we have? Him, over there, and then Adira. Okay. Ah, wait, that's wrong one. I need to be over here. Abelard. You're there. Adira. Over the floor there. And Sister Argenta. I wish to have you over here.
Out of my way! I serve the ruinous powers!
On it.
You know, just do that against him.
Anything else?
And take out those two.
What an unfortunate turn of fate. Will do.
Ah, shit. Wait, what the hell happened there? Reached it to protect it. There was always a... Ah! And no dead egg is... Reach 15. Oh, okay, so I must have hit 15, okay.
Such is the will of chaos!
It's a warrior of the Adeptus Sororitas and a soldier. She is expert with burst ranged weapons and weapons that deal damage in an area. Another of Argenta's strength is her mobility in combat. Run and gun is a unique soldier ability. Using it grants the soldier extra movement points and reduces the cost of the next attack by 1 action point. The soldier will also suffer a -10 to the ballistic skill for this attack. Run and gun also allows the soldier to perform an additional attack with a ranged weapon, which is a handy tool if you want to make more than one attack with them on their turn. Revel in Slaughter is a soldier ability which will be used once for each 3 enemies a soldier kills in a single battle. Each activation of this ability increases a soldier's ballistic skill, critical hit chance, and critical damage. This effect stacks and lasts until the end of combat. Now, certain types of weapons let you make burst attacks. Unlike single shots, burst fire requires you to select a direction rather than a specific target. Burst attacks are particularly effective against clusters of enemies. When performing a burst attack, the character fires several successive shots in different directions. Most of these shots are concentrated in the center of the selected attack cone. Therefore, the more enemies there are in the center of this area, the more of them will be damaged if the attack is successful. All shots fired after the first one are less accurate and have a higher chance of deviating from the central trajectory. Be careful, burst fire shots can hit allies if they are standing in the direction of the attack, which we saw earlier. Yeah, you know what?
Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Bugger. Okay.
I'll do it.
Go here. It involves leaving cover, which I kind of don't want to do yet.
It will be done. Reduced to dust. At your beck and call.
Miss me.
I took care of this one.
Ah, bugger.
I am your doom. Death to non-believers. Death to the weak.
Types of cover. Full and partial covers give you the opportunity to avoid enemy attacks. Full cover, indicated by a skull on the shield, reduces the chance to be hit by 60%. Partial cover reduces it by 35%. At the same time, the chance to hit a character behind cover may vary depending on the difficulty of the game you choose. Some cover can be destroyed by melee attacks, area attacks, and other abilities. Destructible cover has a durability bar above it. Single shot can penetrate through any cover.
I'll see to it personally. It's as good as done.
Yeah, he's got a fresh injury.
Chaos guides me. Ah! Out of my way! I serve the ruinous powers!
Crush the feeble!
Yes. Oh, that's right. I have here, in my way, no. Yeah, deer is caught up in that, so unfortunately we're just stuck with this.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Each strike is a prayer.
Ah. So I don't have access to those yet. Okay. I have an idea on what to do. And that's not gonna kill him. Oh shit, Archibald doesn't have a ranged weapon. Right. I thought you did.
A tactically sound approach.
Oh, that deals with them.
I will do my duty. One fewer target.
I'll make it happen.
Increase all your characteristics again. Bugger.
Anything else?
Can I shout at you? Yes, I can. Can I shout at you? No, I cannot. Yeah, no, you're not going to be affected, and you won't because you're both assailants. Meaning you're not moving out of there.
Unfortunate turn of fate.
Rejoice in battle! Doubt is for the weak. Guided by faith!
There we go, that's how you do it. Abelard? Did I perhaps see something stupid with your current kit? Why, yes I did. Oh, this will make for a good selling. Not really, it's...
Always keep your eye on the prize.
To open a jam door, click on the icon. A character with the highest tech use will make the skill test. If this test fails, the door will remain closed. A particularly bad result of a tech use test can cause the door to become permanently stuck and impossible to open.
Success is the only outcome I accept.
The D100 system. Your character is about to make a tech use skill test. In dialogue and during exploration, you will often make various skill tests, and the result might determine how successful your character's efforts are. To make hidden dialogue options appear or reveal new information, a success of the test is determined by rolling a 100-sided die. Each skill test has a difficulty of up to 100, including negative values. To succeed, you must roll a value equal to or less than the sum of both the stated difficulty and the value of the skill used for the test. And here we get into the technical point. For example, you're attempting a test with a difficulty of -10. Your character's tech use skill score is 40. 40 minus 10 is 30. Therefore, to succeed on the tech use skill test, you must roll a 30 or less. Any result above 30 will mean failure. Note that the difficulty is calculated from greater to lower values. The greater the difficulty value, the easier it is to pass the test. It is easier to succeed on a difficulty 40 test than on a difficulty 10. The higher a character's skill score, the easier it is for them to succeed on tests. Skill scores depend on the character's respective characteristic scores, skill advancements on level ups, and any bonuses the character's equipment might offer. To succeed on various tests during gameplay, develop different skills for your character and their companions. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, let me at him. Stuff to sell. Ooh. Ooh. Yep, that was it. Okay, that was it. Overseer.
Rushnod Dordal.
Run, run, run.
Sins hidden in the heart turn all to decay. I better myself through my service.
Hip hip hooray! Onwards to the level up. Me! I can bring it down! Let's go! To summary. Gimme. Apply. Bring it down. Let's have another go, shall we? Dish. Endure. Take more damage. Whereas extend all incurring damage is reduced by toughness divided by 2, and the worst gains toughness bonus. temporary wounds. By exposed weakness, that would be, yeah. Takes the half of the exploits. Cool. And the soldier, who gets to revel in slaughter. And regains the ballistic skill, 5+2 times the agility bonus. Percentage is as critical damage. And agility bonus percentage of critical hit chance. This ability becomes after the soldier kills 3 enemies. The kill counter is not reset between rounds. Yeah, Iconoclast and Heretical are both radical.
I always keep my options open.
I don't want to see the roar of the flames rings in your ears, and the choking smoke makes you cough and gasp for air. You instinctively recoil from the scorching heat wiping your face. A moment later, a hazy silhouette forms in the raging wall of fire. You are surrounded by ear-splitting noise and screaming, yet you distinctly hear the sound of footsteps. And then you see the figure walking out of the fire towards you. It is Theodora von Valentius.
Are you lost, my heir?
An apparition. A sorceress. Apparition. Trickery of the warp.
Sister, you will lower your weapon. Threatening the Lord Captain is outrageous.
How did you get here?
I am a rogue trader. I am wherever my will demands me to be. Would you prefer to be elsewhere at this time? Indubitably. But are you ready? I can lead you out of these flames, show you a path, rid you of pain, and give you a weapon so that you may defeat your enemies. Decide.
Your mouth begins to salivate. Each word Theodora speaks to you is like music to your ears. The entity that now dwells in the deepest parts, recesses of your mind is pleading, begging, demanding that you give her an immediate answer. And that answer can be nothing other than acceptance.
Do not listen to this abomination. If there is naught but his light in your heart, if you are resolute in your faith, then step into the flames. The Emperor protects. His faithful will not be deterred by either darkness or deceitful promises. Nor will the fire burn those who carry the torch of faith in their soul.
To the void with you. We need to follow Lady Theodora before we suffocate in this furnace.
The people! The survivors from the middle decks! We must help the crew! Lead them out! Find a way around!
Then we'll miss our chance to meet up with Adolf. What are we waiting for?
Yeah, I don't want to see that. I want there to be an option where you can remove the dogmatic, heretical, and iconoclast. Sometimes your character will... I think, granted, it is part of this. I understand for the tutorial. We'll have to make tough decisions based on their values, interests, and goals. Such decisions affect their convictions. Things that can develop in 3 directions: dogmatic, iconoclast, heretical. Each includes 5 ranks. The higher the rank, the more zealously the character follows their convictions, and the more noticeably the world around them directs their actions and decisions. Promotion through the ranks of each of the 3 directions opens up access to new dialogue lines, events, unique abilities, and also changes the attitudes of others toward your character. Also, some items can only be equipped by characters with certain convictions. When one of the conviction branches reaches rank 3, votary, it becomes a character's main focus. When that happens, the other 2 conviction branches cannot be raised above rank 2 adherent. Your character's allies have convictions of their own as well. You look away, and the illusion breaks. The unbearable heat instantly makes your skin burn, and the voices of the people beyond the shroud of smoke grow stronger. And hopeful, once you and your companions rush back, barking orders and guiding the survivors, in your determination you completely forgot about Theodore, and when you turn your head, you see nothing but bellowing fire.
Where did it go? The thing that was in the fire? I could have sworn.
Never doubt me.
I always have a backup plan.
Too late! We are too late! Or perhaps Edelthrad and his escort never made it here. Which would be even worse.
As far as I know, this stuff here weren't.
Or they could be fighting on the bridge as we speak, without us.
My lord, I beg your pardon for interrupting. The people are asking for orders. You came back to save us. So now we will follow you through thick and thin.
To the bridge. If Edelthrad is there, then he requires immediate assistance. I say there is one thing that I find most troubling. The Lord Captain's Voxcasts. They are still coming in, even though it would make sense for Lady Theodora to be on the bridge right now, at the head of the counter-assault. I feel uneasy. What if the Lord Captain is besieged in her own chambers? With your permission, I suggest that we confirm for ourselves that she is not. We can use the same elevator that Lady Theodora and Maud headed for earlier.
What? No, this is a solid play.
Is there money to be made?
We should deal with this. This ocular
Probably
implant
after
was
I
a
complete
worthwhile investment.
this. Yes. here we have the fanciest quarters on the ship.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
What bug? Right. Yeah, I have noticed something, Jaden.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
They've added a blue text that basically goes, so here's something that's from the consequences of your actions. For the first 3 rounds of combat. Ooh. Yes. That can only be equipped by characters of a certain conviction rank. You can open the character menu to see which conviction your character falls. Note that both your character and their companions have their own convictions. You can check what conviction a character adheres to on the Convictions tab in the character menu. Convictions change in direction and rank based on how the game's story develops and during important plot decisions. Oh no, she's dead. Theodora von Valentius's body is sprawled on the large blood-drenched decks. The Archmilitant's corpse, still clutching a weapon, is slumped against one of the bulkheads. It'd be great if we could take his melter.
Emperor, accept thy faithful souls. No! Lord Captain, I didn't hear a thing. Not a whisper, not a breath. It was so loud. Why didn't I foresee this?
No. Lord Captain. Who would even dare? Unless that rat, Voidsphere.
I doubt it. Voidsphere wished humiliation and suffering upon Theodora, not a swift death.
It could have happened in the heat of battle. Not to mention that Mort was here, and he would have protected Lady Theodora to the last. How could Mort have failed her so terribly? The Archmilitant was born on a death world. He had lightning-fast reflexes.
I can look at things in my own way. If you find something that might bear the imprint of the killer, just give it to me, and I'll try to see what secrets it holds.
You lean closer to the body. The cause of death is apparent. What ended the rogue trader's life was an auto pistol shot. An extraordinarily accurate one at that. Theodora's face bears an expression of surprise, the last emotions she experienced in life. Something on the floor captured your eye. A heap of blood-splattered parchments and scrolls that must have fallen off the desk. As you lean for a closer look, you notice something else. Small shards of glass scattered on the floor. Idira, if you mind touching Theodora, you might be able to see the killer through her eyes.
It doesn't work like that. I can try to read the memories of objects, but dead bodies are a different story. Something like that would require her soul. And after what we saw on the officer's deck, I won't risk searching for it in the warp.
What do these shards tell you?
I see streaks of color, luminescence, blue lights, faces drawing closer. Lady Theodora and Conrad and what is that? Ah! Something dark, enormous. Oh, this glass thing was something foul, that's for sure. Tainted witchcraft.
It is difficult to say what exactly was broken. The object fell on the floor, and that is as much as you can ascertain. Upon closer examination, the shards appear iridescent rather than completely transparent, as if they had been submerged in promethium, which is a broad term for combustion fuel. Reports, accounts, dispatches. You go over the scrolls until you stumble upon a document that is starkly different from the rest. It is a handwritten letter signed with the initials XC and a seal with a symbol that is vaguely familiar to you. And sends a shiver down your spine. The author of the letter of this letter, addressed to Theodora von Valentius, signed it with the seal of the orders of the Imperious Inquisition, the secret police of the Imperium that relentlessly hunt heretics, Xenos, and other enemies of humanity. Yeah, that's not good. Auto pistol shot went straight through Mort's forehead, spraying the floor and the furniture around with blood, brain matter, and shards of his skull. The safety on the Archmilitant's weapon is off. The killer must have been a split second quicker than he. We had best be on our way.
Yes, the crucible of battle calls to me once more.
No, wait! We must see if we can find anything!
Idira, you can't bring her back. Let her go.
You'd give up so easily, old man? I expected as much from the sister. It's not like she has a heart. But you? Oh no. I'll get to the bottom of this. I'll find the one responsible for murdering the Lord Captain. And when I do, that scum will regret the day they were born.
Ooh, a cloak. For each enemy in a 2-cell radius. Ah, you know what I gotta do? My cloak.
Let us not dawdle.
It's commerce and Imperium law. Cool. More for me. So how does that go? No idea.
Keep your wits about you.
Here we go again.
Come to chaos!
Can I say frack off? Magenta, you go there. You go there. I go there. Abelard. Over there. Light and medium armor. Yes. Armor protects the character from incoming damage. Light and medium armor types are both available to you at the moment. The armor set indicates what percent of incoming damage from an enemy attack it can absorb. The type of armor also influences the chances that the character wearing it will pass a dodge test. The higher the dodge penalty, the lower the chance to dodge an enemy attack. A character in light armor dodges attacks more often, but takes more damage when hit. Medium armor absorbs more damage if the character is hit, but reduces their mobility and ability to dodge. Sometimes allow characters to use different types of armor more effectively. You have obtained heavy armor. Unlike light and medium armor, heavy armor provides the ability to deflect damage. Deflection is a unique heavy armor set that reduces damage taken by a specified flat amount. Heavy armor has a higher armor rating than medium and light armor, but also usually has a higher dodge penalty, making it harder to dodge an enemy attack while wearing. Only characters with heavy armor proficiency talent can wear heavy armor. And we charge.
It will be done. I took care of this one.
And this is where the fun happens. Now that I have to bring it down. That should have used voice of command. Let me go there.
Taking calculated risk is my second nature. I'll see to it personally.
Tactics. I just put another round into that 7. I missed. With various abilities and features. An icon next to the enemy's portrait indicates that they are under the influence of some kind of effect. Click R and B on the effects icon to see more details. If we wish to learn more about an enemy, right click on the portrait or the enemy themselves. For example, right clicking on the combat servitor, it is heavily damaged. Damage, hit chance and wounds are greatly reduced. But it also rejects the flesh.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Let's see, we do that.
I'll do it.
Hit the Furious Recital.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Think of a good burst fire.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Yes. Truly, Argento and Abelard are the best close combat experts. Yeah, let me just start stacking more on. Yeah, I'll die next turn. Yeah, 12.
But of course.
Oh shit, wrong target.
That's the temporary setback.
Yeah, that's talk. That combat log is this, which I forgot to activate. Oh well.
At
And we
your
charge.
beck and call. An
Go, Abelard.
exemplary strike. It will be done. Target well struck.
It's down to one hit point. Abelard.
On it.
Go again.
Indeed. One fewer target.
And now we get to level up again. I love it. Ah, yes. We get a heroic and our breakthroughs. Yeah, but yeah, for the is again. Ooh. I think I want to focus. Yes. Abelard gets Staring Breach with so basically they get a full turn. With more movement. Worry that so it does an additional 5 damage. That's not stacked, but it can be. So I have no allies in adjacent cells. His attack, they gain 1 at the start of the turn. Each stack. Ah, right. What the hell is breakthrough? Oh shit! They've actually separated these. Okay, you know what? Epicenter of slaughter. In combat, that makes it against the target. The attack always hits. And at the end of combat, the target of this attack suffers a -3 penalty to dodge and a -30 to armor. Cool. Attacks an enemy that has a full wound, deals more damage. Exposed weakness costs 0. Triggers an explode. And a burst attack. Yes. Our mastery goes, yes, let's attack. Weapons rate of fire using the weapon that normally costs the least AP. These attacks do not spend AP until the end of the soldier's turn. I guess it's got a critical hit. It's an ally. Damage to enemies. However, efficient for full cover and 20 for half. Deals damage. Deals damage to 3 different enemies. Okay. 10 plus double ballistic skill bonus, % more damage for the next attack. Landing cost -2, costs 2 less AP. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab that early on. I know how useful rapid reload is. Next to being in the retinue of a mate. Since it's less than 35. Archibald, what is your intelligence? Don't raise it. Grace of the oblivious.
I always have a backup plan.
To the bridge. Yeah. Bugger.
The first sacrifice opens the eye. The second sacrifice draws its gaze.
Help has arrived. Too late to change the tide, I'm afraid. But if there is any honor in you, we can at least die with dignity and give our lives for the rogue trader.
The Lord Captain will not be joined. You look dreadful.
I am still standing, and I have enough strength in me for one more fight. All that truly concerns me is this. Where is the Lord Captain?
The Lord Captain would not be joining us.
No. The rogue trader is dead? No matter what ritual Kunrad is performing there, the warp is too strong. I cannot withstand it. I feel my body changing with every second. The warp is ringing in the air. This is the end. We will perish in the warp, along with the warrant and all the dynasty's heirs. The enemy of humanity has triumphed.
I've seen it before. We'd better get away from him. The changes are already accelerating.
I forbid you from the very thought of yielding. Only by resigning to your fate will you truly suffer defeat.
Words worthy of a righteous soul.
Save the lofty words for later, will you? The navigator's ready to take the ship out of the warp if he gets some help from the bridge.
Then we have no right to bow our heads.
You see Kunrad Voidfear clearly in the gloom of the bridge. The broken blade he is holding is stained with the dark drops that seem to have a pearlescent glimmer to them.
We are out of time!
Yeah, that complicates things.
The ritual will not be completed. I'll take care of it. And you, see to it that the void ship breaks free from the warp. Watch over our realm. And farewell.
Accursed traitor! A time will come when you will bleed for her ladyship Theodora's murder! Remember my words, for they are the vow of he who marches toward his death!
What? Theodora is dead? No, that can't be. Not now. I still haven't.
Your ritual won't be finished, heretic!
And here are the costs. Rags and mail.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
All of you will bleed!
No, that's right, I gotta kill these bastards first. That's right. Magenta, go there. Indira. Go there. You can go there. We've already gone over this. Bring on the warp.
On it. Farewell.
On desperate measures, momentum is required depending on the actions of your party in combat. The momentum bar will increase or decrease. A higher momentum value allows the player to use a heroic act. A low value grants access to desperate measures. Both abilities can completely change the course of battle, but every party member can either use one or the other, but only once in a single combat. sister.
You should feel honored to witness this.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury!
As the Emperor commands, I am eradicated. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act. God Emperor, move through me! Be the fire in my heart! Faith without deeds is worthless.
Okay. Good show. Man, I really should have hit regimental tactics. Oh well.
It's as good as done.
Ah shit, wasn't meant to do that. Oh well.
I'll see to it personally.
Did he miss a target that big?
Will do.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah. What do you have? Toughness. It failed the bleeding 5 rounds. That was an ally restoring 30% of the creature's max wounds. Yeah. Just get to hooks. Dark prayer. Yeah. Let's start praying to the. Yeah. It's already a chaos spawn. Wait a second. So suffering this. Stunned or cannot attack. The stunned or cannot attack becomes slowed instead of immobilized. Suffers a psychic dampening effect instead of psychosomatic trauma. Falling prone. Okay. I with your main too far.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Bleeding.
I will do my duty.
Blood and jaw.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
I need to get rid of that. And running gun. Yes, Abelard is outside of range.
My Emperor!
That's so good. So good.
Moving out!
I've suffered worse.
Despite melee superiority.
Break their morale!
Okay.
I'll make it happen.
Voice of command. Abelard, bring it down.
Victory is imminent.
We do that. And then we activate this. And then we just start swinging.
At your beck and call. Indeed. I will do like you.
Yeah. Why am I attacking? They do after where it has no limit on melee attack. It's this turn.
Victory is imminent.
Oh God. Okay, let's see. Can I put one single round into this target? You missed.
Stop it!
Yeah. That's 16, so I can't really.
Was that you? Or
however, first fight, let's go.
anything is? What an unfortunate turn of fate.
How mere pain won't stop me. I've faced worse than this.
Gimme.
Is there money to be made?
Oh. That's iconoclast. Sure, accurate increases the wearer is dodged by 20. Ooh. Whenever the wearer gets an injury or falls, allies gain a +1 bonus to damage. Nice. Martyr gloves.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Yeah, let's see. Are you iconoclast? Yes.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
The air.
Rivor, Master Helmsman, systems status report.
By the Emperor, it's the Seneschal, living and breathing. Oh, well, there's a tricky question. The old place is so overgrown with foul wickedry, we'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long.
How did your people survive here?
Must have been Providence. It better have been the Emperor's, not someone else's. When they barged in here, the ones with the Master of Whispers, some officers charged them, but it wasn't even a fight. I grabbed whoever I could and dragged them behind the cogitators. Then, I prayed for our rescue.
We need to re-establish contact with the Navigator's Sanctum. It is our only chance of escaping from the warp. Your words seem to knock the officers out of their stupor, and the air around you fills with voices and commands being issued. You hear someone sobbing, one of the survivors buckling under the stress. Abelard cuffs a crying officer without even looking.
Restore the Vox channel to the Navigator's Sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. You may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to disregard rules. You are the only one who speaks for House von Valancius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserve to take her place in the ritual that is about to commence.
What must I do?
Take the Lord Captain's seat. Order the final preparations. Wait for the officers to report. Oh, blast it all to the void! Translation is a craft, not something that can be explained in a tick. Just go up to the throne, Master. These people are about to do the impossible. The least they deserve is the solace of seeing a figure sitting in the usual spot. Oh, please, hurry. Every second we waste is a terrible risk.
I'm ready. Begin the ritual. The image before you is hazy, swaying in sorcerous currents invisible to mortal eyes, as if whatever is beneath its thin shell is constantly changing while still remaining the same. It has taken on the guise of Theodora, but the false rogue trader's eyes reveal the entity's true, surreal nature. One of Theodora's eyes is engulfed in otherworldly fire. The other, a vessel of ancient evil, pours into you. A voice seeps directly into your brain without ever reaching ears. And this voice burns with all the horrors of the warp.
Who are you to oppose destiny itself for the sake of lives that are not your own? So many threads stretch between you and other creatures of your world. Pitiful, worthless links, ready to shatter at the slightest touch. A muddled, erratic, pointless tangle.
What's this? Ah! That's apparently opposing destiny. It resonates and merges with voices that have already dug the foul roots into your consciousness. A moment later, you realize that all these voices are the myriad manifestations of the same core that has finally invaded your mind. I am saving my people. Do your worst, but you cannot stop me.
Lead them, mortal. Guide them. Persuade them. Force them to walk your path. You will need followers, for destiny is preordained.
The aspirant vowed to return with a trophy. A relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured, and the steps chosen. And yet, you broke the unbreakable when you took the aspirant's place. I see you. On the day when the final dawn rises over the Iron World, I see you by my side on that day. The day of my resurrection.
Your image is woven into the tapestry of things to come. I am the will of the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out of the maw of irreversibility. The thread that will help you find the keys to salvation. The thread that will guide you and the weapon of our return to me.
Piss off, Zinch.
The path is set, child of the dawn. The thread is woven. Follow it, servant of mine.
Seneschal, the Navigator's sanctum is silent. The Vox signal is stable, which means...
The Navigator gave his life battling the storm that nearly claimed the von Valancius flagship. We will honor his memory, along with that of all who died this day.
Seneschal, will you tell us now? Who is that? Where's the Lord Captain?
As First Officer, it is my duty to inform you, with the greatest regret and indelible sorrow, that Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius is dead. May her memory never fade from the annals of the dynasty. By right of blood succession, and with the absence of other kin who could challenge this decision,
it is hereby declared that the successor to Theodora von Valancius is her heir, the rightful inheritor of the Warrant of Trade, and the title of Rogue Trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim... have you lost your tongues? Hail your lord. It is because of his toils that we all still live.
the deed is done, Master. My apologies. I meant to say Lord Captain.
The treachery of the Master of Whispers was fruitless, but victory came at a great cost. Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius perished along with her heir, Edelthrad, and thousands of crew members. Yet hope remained. For the second in line to the Rogue Trader dynasty survived. And through the strength of his resolve, saved those who were counting on him for protection.
Hooray, I completed the prologue. cannot help but notice the Seneschal does not know how to talk to you, or where to begin. His hesitation brings an involuntary smirk to your face, as though someone else entirely is gloating at the old officer's confusion. Seeing your smile, Abelard pulls himself together. How did we come to lose so many officers? Have you succeeded in tracking down VIII? Okay, what is on the agenda for this meeting? I'm ready to start the briefing. Summon the officers. With the gesture, Abelard relays the order to the adjutants at the far end of the magnificent chamber. A dozen pairs of eyes bore into you, the expressions revealing restraint, joy, curiosity, and wariness. Perhaps you would introduce those present, Abelard? Abelard points to a tall, slender woman whose body seems to contain many implants as it does flesh. Bearded man with pale, almost transparent skin, large dark circles under his eyes, and a dour expression that seems hardwired into his face gives a sullen nod. Dressed in an embroidered jacket, the heavy-set man with oiled hair offers an obsequious smile and bows. and more tabletop things, you can actually field the Master of Ordnance. It's great. I have never done it before. I don't have a model for him, but you can field him. The 3 officers salute you. And that is the Master of Ordnance there in the blue, dressed in blue there. The Infernus Master does so with confidence, while the Master of Ordnance betrays nervousness. The Drives Master offers a salute resembling a dance, involving the complicated manipulation of all the Tech Priest mechadendrites. Is that everyone? Yeah. Fun. Hi Factorum, what have you to report? Drives Master, I will hear from you now. A voice, distorted by a Vox retranslator, emerges from under the Tech Priest's scarlet hood. It's like it's like hearing every. I can actually kind of understand what they're saying. It basically made it's kind of what I'm with this Tech Priest. I actually kind of understand what he's saying, but I will not share it. I see. Thank you. The Tech Priest bows her head. Master Helmsman, deliver your status report. A sharp bolt of pain lances through your skull as if in response to what you just heard. You understand that it is not the God Emperor you should thank for such good fortune. The words of the demon that appeared before you during the translation to real space echo in your mind. Oh, that's fun. Master of Ordnance, do you have anything to report? Casts another look at you before lowering his gaze. To summarize, we have sustained serious losses in crew members and we require a new engineer prime and navigator. Is this all that's preventing us from continuing the voyage? What can you tell me about the system in which we currently find ourselves? Thank you all for your reports. Dismissed. Assembled officers salute you as one. Yeah, there's still more! So, yeah, when I finish this text, welcome to CRPG. Then I will call it after 4 hours of recording. I came across a strange handwritten letter on Theodora's desk. It was signed XC. You're referring to the contents of that note, I presume? Abelard gives you another scrutinizing look, as if to gauge how long you will hold out under his mountain of problems. His face softens slightly, and it seems he is about to offer some words of encouragement. Idira, come to your senses. If there is nothing else of value to report, I declare this meeting concluded. It is time to get to work. Okay, so we finally, after 4 bloody hours, we've made it. I had to do 4 hours just to get through that. Just to get through the whole main tutorial section. Right, so there's technically been 2 parts in one, but for the tutorial of a CRPG, it had to be done. So this will be concluding part 1, the Curious Expanse Adventures of Archibald Drisus VIII von Valancius. And I shall see you all next week.